Hello, everyone. Back again. And welcome back to another video review. Words are more than enough to describe of this year of intrigue. Words are more than enough to exemplify the many of them all. Words are more than enough to describe how much that, how should I say this? Words are more than enough of the many of the whatnot. Words are more than enough to exemplify and personify them all. Words are more than enough to understand, to personify, and of the Lord. Because I know it's not much, and I know it's not fit for a king. So, like, all that I can say is hallelujah, hallelujah. And if I ever again know this, that exclusivity will be stopped. All shall be included. All shall have a say. And all shall have a chance. As all will become one. One with the Matrix. One with the Allspark. And one with the sun. And that above all. That above all. Above all powers of all kings, nature and all created things, wisdom and all the ways of man. Above all wonders the world has ever known, above all wealth and the treasures of the earth. And there's no way to measure what I am worth. So anywho, with that out of the way. Oh, hello, Creepy Boy. Hello, Brian. Yeah. Words are more than enough to describe this year of intrigue, as I said at the start. Words are more than enough to exemplify the holiday seasons that are upon us. And yes, I did hear of the passing of Jason David Frank. That was a tragedy. Condolences with his family and friends. Damn, he was such a good member of the Power Rangers. Damn. I mean, and I didn't know this, but he actually was the voice of Emissary in the Titans Return Machinima universe. I think I might have mentioned it at the time, but still, he was mostly well known in the Power Rangers side of things. Oh, Lucas, hi. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you have. Yeah, let's just say, well, a lot of great things. That, I'm going to try it. Sorry, I'm just trying to file save as here. There we go. Back online and on ready to go. Sorry, I'm just yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess my decision on some things has been made a little bit more easier after the prior. And that further action will be taken, no excuses. And then I shall finally achieve what I have been trying to do since the last 3 years. Like, anyway, I'm sorry. Damn it. I gotta stop getting off track of this. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. On a side note, thanks to everyone for watching my Henry and the Half Engine story. Again, I based it off of Bogey Boy's tweet, and literally it was a picture of Henry and Half Engine in the forest as the sun was setting. Thought to myself, why not have a story based off of that? So that's out of the way. But now there's a third part and a final part to this little saga in my universe. Again, this is not because, yeah, just you'll. I've got a lot of Christmas ideas in the works. Let's just say that. Don't you just love it where you just go back to the beginning on some things? Ah, never serious. Ah, all right. Yeah, just I did. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Thanks once again for being Richard and my Richard and Merlin story. I forgot to properly thank you on that. If I haven't or I have already, I get Anywho, I'm doing good. Yeah, I was just I was going on a faithful tangent at the start. Faithful, like basically, that's what I've been lacking a little bit. I usually have faith, but at least with who out of the picture for the time being, it alleviates. It'll just let's just say it'll gain a bit more traction on the spectrum on the other side of the universe. Anywho, aside from that, yeah, apologies about Uh oh. Uh, I will message you at some point about that, Never Studios. Don't worry. I I know, for example, Gold Dust Hunters. That's one I was hopeful to get out this year. Had to be pushed back to next year. Because that's one of many things I just do not want to. Many projects I don't want to shelve forever. Like, because I figured out what the name of that software for the human, like the basically the animation software of the humans that was used in the Tapmark Director's Cut by Iowa Studios and Battery Alumni. I know like my bread and butter was MS Paint figures. Just, I mean, I'm not trying to cut corners here with my production. I'm trying to evolve with myself in a way. And I know and I'm aware. I'm not disregarding what happened all those months ago. And there will be a time, and I'm just saying this with a grain of salt, grain of salt, yes, yay or nay, that I have a feeling that when the day does come, that all will be one and that all will be as it should be at last. It's basically a spiritual sequel to Magic Railroad. Because, all right, I'm just going to get into a bit of a spoiler here. Just because no one has seen it yet. But I will tell you this. Yes, you're going to see, like, majority of, it's basically Tatmar centric with the cast, minus a few additional characters that are in the story. However, it references at the ending of Gold Dust Hunters, references the events of Colonial Engines, for example. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And I know I'm aware I haven't a few peoples I haven't spoken to in months, just because. And anyway, I'm not going to get into that. That'll be another separate thing once once the let's just say once the pieces fall into place, and and basically, like, in the end of it, like, the outcome potentially will be that I will finally accomplish everything that I've been wanting to do the last 3 years, and I can finally breathe a little bit easier. Let's just say that. It's basically, yes, a spiritual sequel, a spiritual saying, because it's like, yeah. But moving aside from that, one, at least let's see, how many do we have here? At least let's just say there's 4 stories I have in the works, Christmas related. One of them is, like, let's just say it's the final act to, like, what happens with the half engine of my universe. The second one is a Toby story. The third one is as a Terrence story, and the fourth one, let's see, 1, No, actually, just 3. Yeah. The 4th one, which let's just say that's another special. Even though the script is in development, the story called An Engine's Heart, like, again, it was supposed to be out around this time this year, but again, various reasons, I've had to again push that back, which basically Jasper Fitzgerald, the Rise of Jasper Fitzgerald project, I've mentioned that 1,000 times by now. Look, I have tried my hardest to export Jasper's model in trains. It's in game, but there is a load of errors. Yeah, load of errors, fixable errors. I tried fixing them, but the config pretty much, like, when I save it, it dies. Meaning, like, I put something there, and then the config saves it into a style and the thing that I just yeah. It's like but then all of a sudden, like, I realized to myself, wow, I just realized there's too many lattices on the bogey. Holy. So, following the old and new tutorials, there you go. I've just been dying to see Harperman's bogey export tutorial. Like that's just, it's not just a me thing. It's like anyone that wants to make any model in trains or anything in general. Because I feel like my experience in Blender, it's its own language. Yeah, basically that Blender video called the Jasper Fitzgerald Progress, that's what Jasper's supposed to look like in game, but just from, like, you saw it from the Blender side of things. Now, thankfully, I have a neighbor of mine who's super experienced with Blender. He partially helped me with the finalizing of Jasper, like getting the textures on his body. But in game, the first time I exported him, bunch of errors, going to the mesh viewer, and the textures are gone. And I think to myself, this can't be right. So, because I have Blender 2.8 and Blender 2.79. 2.79 is the version you use to export models from Blender to trains, whether it's static or animated models. It's absurd that later versions, to my knowledge, you can't use the exporter for trains. That makes no sense. It's like you got to go through all these loopholes and all that. I'm like to myself, damn it. You're right. I've seen yeah, it's true. I mean, I've seen let's see. I've seen from Mainland Studios' point of view. I've seen from Sheffield Number 14 Productions' point of view. Even Trains Mania, like Ricardo. Spoilers, like, but I ain't telling you what he's modeling, but I can tell you that the experience is hit and miss. But Ricardo always finds a way. Always finds a way to do this and that. But God, I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleaning on this channel, like videos, live streams, etc. It just, anyway, I simply cannot wait when the time is correct, when I can finally utter the phrase, and then completion, satisfaction, and that I am transformed. Anywho. Me and my rambling on. At least I know when to. Oh, wow. Anyway. Well, you have a very good point. A very good point. Like, there is very few CGI like characters in trains that are public. Etienne, for example, Hurricane and Frankie. I mean, well, like, I'm talking about public at the time, because, like, let's see, the Hurricane model that you've seen, Byman Studios, that was on Railway Works, that's gone. Version 1 of Frankie's gone. And there's a bunch of other like bits and bobs and all that. Anyway, I yeah, same character, like Yerevan, 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 Yerevan. Yerevan. Hold on. Oh no. That's bleh. No. Unstopamus Primal. Oh, I know. I mean, there's already like the Duchess of Loughborough, or Duchess. It's interesting. I think that was a private model that was commissioned by, Mainland Studios made it, but I think it was commissioned by the one and only NWR 1991. However, I will say this, and I just let's see. So I won't say who, but I politely asked him via Twitter of a potential commission of Dudley from the Buried Truck, also known as the Scrap Spectre that spooked Diesel out of the sidings in Diamonds. I have yet to hear back from him. And no, it's not Ricardo, it's someone else. Dudley is available through Patreon. I can understand that. But as someone who has a trains website that has little content for now, will have an empire of amazing collections of any model. I'm talking about Thomas characters, not OCs, just because, well, that's different. Of Thomas characters. Dudley, for example. Clarence, the van. Rajiv. Norjihane. Gustavo. Beresford. According to the very truck himself, he does confirm that Dudley is the scrap engine that spooked Diesel. Like, but again, like the Scrap Spectre is based off of the Halloween engine from season 8 that we saw for 5 seconds. It was basically used out of an old Gordon model, one of the tenders from the Six Lovely Tenders, not Six Lovely Tenders, tenders for Henry, and then just the tail lamp. Six Lovely Tenders, yeah, that's... I was going to do a theme song for the half engine, but I ran out of time. And let's just say, well, that's true. I mean, Dudley was just basically a steam engine, basically a steam version of Diesel. Like, if he had done his work and done what he was supposed to do, then the conversation would be different. Even though I did reference Dudley in my Henry the Half Engine episode, when Thomas said that line of, Dudley was a piece of work, more or less a piece of shit. I had to add that in there because context and continuity. It was just like hilarious and whatnot. So I think to myself, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha, in my head, ha ha ha, in the bed, ha ha ha, making beautiful mistakes. And I just thought of a song. Oh, dang it. Okay. The half engine is an excellent ghost character. I'm not gonna lie there, because I'll tell you, I was one of the very first that created the half engine in trains. It took me forever to get that face, like the demon face or the ghost face on that half engine body. Like with the Alive persona, that was a little bit easier. So, anywho, hold on. Because, let's see. I'm just going to do this, even though Halloween has already passed and already have gone by the wayside. I need to do this because I have to. and it's in my discretion. So, what version of the half engine, like, or not for preference, but which one do you find as more terrifying? My design or Bogey Boy's design? Like, look at this. I nearly jumped out of my seat when I saw Bogey Boy's adaptation. Like I thought it was going to run for the hills. I thought it was going to come for me. I tried everything. I tried teleporting, but nothing happened. And then I realized. But the major difference, I know, I got inspired by Narrow Gauge's adaptation of the half engine using the Half-Life zombie sound effects, in my version. But Bogey Boy used the Teletubbies screaming thing, or oh yeah, sorry about the echo. It's a new mic, like built-in mic. I don't know. Yeah. And and yes, you did see my recent video of hello Conrel Locke and Tamez. Let's just say that basically I told that Henry's fireman dies. I had to, because I had to. And I realized, oh shit. And because of that, why the hell not? We will do this and press play button and goodbye, Henry's fireman.
What the fuck?
Goodbye. Okay, whoa. Not for studios. Let me be clear. Let me explain something. NCO Pictures wrote the story of the half engine. Narrow Gauge does not allow people to use his exact audio or any of it. Yes, you can get inspired by the story. Like, look at My Six Lonely Tenders and The Truth About Scrap. Those were different because, well, as you saw, NCO Pictures allows people to adapt the half engine unless with permission. I even saw on his Twitter. So Narrow Gauge didn't write the half engine or anything. NCO Pictures did. And the faces were from Sordori Modeler. In fact, thanks to me and some connections, let's just say it finally happened. I just have to get to it. I think it was it would have been from 5/10/22. A beautiful, emotional live stream. Great job through Adams. So I shall show you. That's okay. Oh, and yes, I found the video, and here we come. Watch out, here I come.
Good old a still of Skywarp on nice thick photo paper. It's got a bit creased in the post, but we'll deal. Same one in landscape, same one in a slightly different color temperature. Oh god, extreme facial close-up. That's spooky. Gosh, I hate that. Did you miss any giveaways? Not yet. We're going to do some in a bit. I haven't broken them out just yet. Yeah, we'll do one after this. Let's do one after this. All right. Anyway, yes, terrifying, bleedy-eyed Skyward. Love that. That's very Halloween, very spook. Whoop. Oh, settle down, lads. Jeez, what's going on here? So we have Gordon being scared of something. What the heck? We have the Hearth Engine. Face designed by Sudori Modeler. Character belongs to NCO Pictures. Okay. Original character, do not steal. It's a Thomas the Tank Engine lad with half of a face and a skull. That's very Megadeth. Love that. Ooh, that is spooky. Yes, I have a similar feeling to how James is doing there. Just concern.
Yes, concern. Concern. Yes, thanks to moi, and now that is great. Wow. Whew. Oh wow. Sorry. I yeah, the servo motor explosion. Actually, with Sue Adams, his nails are painted black. They're not damaged or anything. It's just his thing. Yes, I did my own adaptation of Demons. The only difference was instead of Dudley, I used Cuthbert or Johnny Cuba, Victor Tenzing's universe, because in Victor Tenzing's universe, Johnny Cuba, died. And I thought, makes sense. That's a perfect great opportunity to do the Demon story with Johnny Cuba. Because that and the fact that Cuthbert's model has, a face mesh and just a smoke pot store, so it makes sense. And the fact that Diesel had no interaction with him in his final act in any way. Look under the chat. I'm looking at the chat. As I said, yes, I did do Demons. Like the adaptation of Demons, which all of Barry Trucks' stories are they're free to adapt, just make sure to credit. And yes, I did that thumbnail, custom made it. All sprites and backdrops belong to the respective owners. Listed below it. Below what? I don't get it. I don't. Hold on. Yep. I will get to the Well, I did see Victor Tenzing's take on Proteus or Kyle. Yes, I did see toddler, childhood, teenager. I saw that story arc with James and Rosie, and I'm thinking to myself, wow. So they can do that. And I'm thinking to myself, no, that's wrong. Even though I did a bunch of reactions to each and every single one of those shorts. I think to myself, damn, Victor Tenzing. And I thought the Henry and Emily thing I did there was too rich. I think I must have been one upped. I think I did. But don't worry, in my universe, that never happens. FYI. Well, you may have seen some Stormtrooper troublesome tracks in my series, but that was from Crosby Trains Works. They're not on the site, but Hold on a second. Right. I I'm just gonna bye-bye. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, since Levy is backwards facing Diesel, would he be basically going forward like a normal? He would be going forward because he's a back. Yes, he's a class away, but his configuration is backwards basically. So pretty much backwards is forwards is backwards. You know, it's not like Spanner. Yeah, and speaking of Spanner, you would have seen him at the end of one of my episodes. It would have been the Cow for Spencer one. But which yes, you will see Spanner. I know. I think a few people wanted me to adapt Spanner. I was actually one of the voice actors in that story from 22 Tesla. I have seen a few bit of Train Boys stuff, especially the dark side of Day Out with Thomas. Excuse me. Okay. What have you seen? Okay. But anyway. Oh yes, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone across in the States. Hope everyone's having a marvelous, joyous time, and hopefully everyone is celebrating the the holidays responsibly. Well, basically the 3 R's: responsible, reliable, really useful. And no, we're not going to go by the Tapmar parody, Mr. Conductor sort of logic, where he yells in the telephone and he says something very very hilarious in the telephone, calmly hangs up the phone after hanging it up previously, and then just walks away with the Topham hat. And yes, I have seen his Train Boys model of Molly. Although I will say, speaking of Molly, the recent audio story by Kiefer Adams was pretty good. I really am starting to get hitched on to Kiefer Adams' story adaptations, and I already made his OC, like basically in Tomy form. And it's really interesting. He the one thing that really has personally stuck out for me is the road train, Beatrice. And it really connects to me personally. Personally, because it really exemplifies what I experienced as a child. I was on a road train on holidays many times in my youth. And yes, the train was not named Beatrice. It had no face, but it was painted yellow with pink and red with red side rods. Had a tender and 5 coaches and a brake van. It wore out over time, poorly maintained, and was left to rot in a siding after the fair closed permanently in 2012. The train is still there to this day. But yes, I've seen the model of Molly. Yeah. Uh, well, man, this is the longest stream I've had in ages. 45 minutes and 35 seconds. I will ensure that the New Year's Eve live stream will be the longest live stream ever made. Season 19 is kind of nostalgic in a way. I mean, to me, like seasons 1, 2, 3, pretty much seasons 1 to 7 are nostalgic. I would also include seasons 8, seasons 10 and 11, seasons 17 to 24. I excluded some very few because yes, I did see that, Temez, about the dark side of the Day Out with Thomas. It's really interesting. I didn't know this, but when 475 475 Swapbot Store or Face was destroyed, they shunted 2 Day Out with Thomas copies, shoved 475 to the workshop, and just left the 2 Day Out with Thomases out in the cold. And the diesel that shunted, did all the shunting, just left to shunt another train. I'm so thankful for 475. The main engine star of Thomas and Magic Railroad. Like, okay, well, not one of the main stars, because he was the Rainbow Sun in the Magic Railroad. He wasn't the Rainbow Sun in the Shine Time Station television series. That was another engine that pretty much like portrayed the Rainbow Sun. I don't know. That would actually make because let's see, if you've seen Thomas and Friends Continue by Thomas Trains 3D, I would like to see that happen. An episode about that, where we see 475 accident, and then the Rainbow Sons of Commission. Stacey Jones is horrified. Schemer thinks it's a joke, and Billy Two Feathers is furious, and he mourns like he thinks it's all is for naught. And Miss Conductor's like, no, 475 is not dead. His face is broken, but not in spirit. It may be down, but not out. You can do it. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Union Pacific 8044 was portraying the rainbow the Rainbow Sun. But wait, if there's a Rainbow Sun, what about the Rainbow Moon? Who is the Rainbow Moon? Okay, I think I'm getting a little okay. Okay, hold on. I need to do this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Man. Okay. I know there was a long silence. Anyways, and yeah, so finally, first big step. Firstly, getting through getting through a stream without losing my shit. And I cannot wait to finally put this year behind me, despite everything. Start over again and more next year. So, anyways, until the next time we see each other again, take care of this. Have a good day. I shall catch you later. Goodbye.